High Stakes Fantasy Network. I'm your host, Greg Ambrosius, and I'm here with Tom Kesenick and our good friend Jeff Erickson from RotoWire.com. This is the Beat Jeff Erickson RotoWire Online Championship, $250,000 grand prize. Jeff, let's start with you. How you doing tonight, and are you ready for this one?
I am ready for it. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I've been talking nonstop football for a while now. It feels like so, and I've been done a handful of drafts. I haven't done too many. I haven't done any OCs yet, but I've done plenty of drafts. So I know it's different. It's third round reversal, different crowd, 6 points for a passing touchdown, etc. But it's not my first OC. I'll be right.
Well, $250,000 on the line. Tom, you're watching a couple of OCs right now. I just told you off the air. We have over 100 RotoWire Online Championship leagues in the books already. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Demand is through the roof. A record $250,000 grand prize this year. Drafts are just selling out like crazy. Obviously, preseason starting up tonight, one game with the Jaguars and Raiders. So we're going to see more and more drafts selling out. We're going to be talking about roster builds, talk about Jeff's picks, of course. Going to be a lot of fun watching how the drafts are unfolding, how the picks are unfolding tonight. Looking forward to see what Jeff does and what everybody does tonight with all the big grand prize on the line.
This draft starts with Jeff at pick 2. We kind of know who team 1's going to go. Jeff, what is your thought process here? You just left it 1 to 12 was your KDS, like you said last night. 2 was not your favorite, but that's what you've got right now. How are you going to deal with it?
I'm going to take either Jonathan Taylor or Justin Jefferson. The decision will be made for me. I moved Kupp below just a couple notches with the bad news on Stafford. Because if there's anything wrong with Stafford, it's going to affect Kupp. We can all talk about how he's, no receiver is completely quarterback proof. So if Stafford isn't starting, well, or at least is less effective, then I want to I won't avoid Kupp, but when Jefferson's sitting there, I think I'd be kind of silly to pass on Jefferson.
Man, that's a good point. I mean, him having a sore elbow right now after an entire offseason is concerning. Yeah, he's going to play through it and all that kind of stuff, but gee, Tom, it is concerning with Stafford's elbow, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it has to be. And we have seen Kupp fall. Kupp had been the number 2 consensus pick in our drafts pretty much from the start of our drafting season up until about the last week or so, and he's dropped to 4. So it'll be interesting to see if he falls any further with the news of Stafford and the sore elbow. So it's something we'll watch tonight and certainly going forward.
I know Jeff wants to take Jamar Chase from his hometown Bengals. He loves them, but not going to happen. Jonathan Taylor off the board. Here we go. 12 teams, 20 rounds, third round reversal. What does that mean? We go 1 to 12, then 12 to 1, and then we go back to 12 to start round 3. So third round reversal in the RotoWire Online Championship. Jeff is team 2. He is on the clock. And like he said, Justin Jefferson. So the choice was between Jefferson and Taylor, pretty much, right, Jeff?
Yep. And I have that. One of those things where McCaffrey goes first. You know what? I'll just.
We're losing you with the audio, unfortunately. Yeah, the headphone didn't work.
Is that better? No.
Nope.
So I guess now we see, Greg, who goes third, because we are seeing McCaffrey move up. So it'll be interesting to see if McCaffrey is the third pick off the board. And again, where does Cooper Kupp go? Those are going to be some of the big questions now.
Right. I mean, I'm just looking at our ADP since Monday. It's McCaffrey at 2, Jefferson 3, Kupp 4, Jamar Chase 5, Eckler at 6, Najee Harris at 7, Stephon Diggs 8, Devontae Adams 9, Derrick Henry 10, Dalvin Cook 11, and Saquon Barkley is at 12 since Monday. So pretty interesting there. We'll see if the ADPs hold out or not. Kupp does go 3, then McCaffrey at 4, at 5. Jeff, can we hear you now?
Let's try. Can you hear me now?
No, we're struggling with your audio, unfortunately. We've had a little trouble since we got on here, but Tom and I will hold the fort down for a while until we can get you going. Jeff is more knowledgeable than us, Tom. We need him on this show, don't we?
We do like He's a industry Hall of Famer, so we certainly like all Jeff's input. I don't know. Do you want to try Jeff logging out, logging back in? You think that might work?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, we could try that maybe, but
Yep.
so our first few picks, McCaffrey goes fourth after Cup. No real drop for Cup here. He goes third, then Jamar Chase. Austin Eckler goes sixth overall. There goes Delvin off the board. So again, Greg, we were talking about this. We've been talking about it on our Sirius show. The first round really seems to be locked in, the 12 players. Where they go, that's changing, right? The order. But the 12 players seem to be locked in right now. There's not a lot of movement, and maybe there won't be, barring injury or something crazy happening, right?
Well, like I said, Barkley at 12 since Monday in the RotoWire Online Championship. We've had, I think, close to a dozen of them. That's kind of surprising, and we'll see if
Yeah.
Barkley does go in the first round. We know it's possible that he could go in the first round, so that's the one that kind of throws me off right now. Like, boy, he's in the first round already. We'll see what happens tonight here. Big three wide receivers usually go. Now we got Derrick Henry at 8, Cook at 7, Henry at 8. We'll see where DeAndre Swift goes here pretty soon. But again, these are 12 teams, 20 rounds. Tom, you've been watching these a lot. These things are getting done quick, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, we know
Yeah.
our live events, the prime times, they get done about an hour and a half, but these things have been going quick as well.
Yeah. So Jeff is back. We can bring him back in. But yeah, these drafts can often get done in a little over an hour if everybody's picking quickly. So,
Yeah.
Jeff, do we got you back here?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me guys
Hey,
okay?
beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
there
a
we
beautiful
go.
connection. All
It
right.
turns out that Safari does not like your chat software very well, your live stream software very well. So I switched to Chrome, and that seemed like that worked. Just
Who the hell uses Safari in today's day and age, huh?
it's what
Come
comes with
on.
my Mac. What can I say?
Chrome is definitely better. So, all right.
All right.
So
All
we've
right. So
learned
what are
one
your
thing
thoughts,
tonight.
Jeff? What are your thoughts on the first round so far?
Pretty standard. I don't see anything too shocking. Do you?
No. Like we were saying, that Barkley's gone 12th in the last since Monday, last dozen RotoWire Online Championship leagues. We'll see if he goes in the first round, but no, it is pretty standard right here, no doubt about it. Henry going a little bit higher than he has been, flip flopping with Najee Harris, but that's a dime a dozen, really. Devontae Adams at 11. Devontae was suited up, but did not play tonight. Tom, what do you think looking at him in the Raiders black and gold, huh? Or black and silver, I should say.
You gotta do. You don't want to play. You didn't want to play with Aaron Rodgers anymore. So,
all right, there's
Yeah.
Barkley at 13. Technically, he's in the first round because Team 12 could have put him there instead of Swift, but there you go, Swift and Barkley. All right,
And
Jeff,
that's Nelson
we know
Sousa on the wheel down there, and he's next to Chris Vaccaro. So they might be sniping each other a lot, but I'm a little low key surprised. I haven't drafted a whole lot with Nelson this year, but I kind of thought there'd be some receivers taken by him. But can't argue with the upside on Swift Barkley, that's for sure.
No, Nelson's got a lot of teams, and he'll take a stud running back and then really hit the wide receivers after that very hard. So he's got a lot of different mixes definitely right now. Swift and Barkley, hard to argue with that. Plus, when you got the first pick in the third round, you're going to be able to get a good wide receiver there as well. So interesting there. Harrison Jones, Tom Jones at 15. You got to be liking that, right?
What a start. Najee Harris and Aaron Jones. That's a fantastic start in the first two rounds. Love that.
And there's Joe Mixon. So we got two Bengals here, Jeff, in the first 16. That's a sign of good things to come for your Bengals, right?
Yeah, I've seen Mixon go earlier too. That going Mixon and Diggs is nice. You could have seen it go in the exact opposite order, and you wouldn't have been too surprised, right?
Do you have faith in Mixon to stay healthy and to still be that 3-down back?
Yeah, I think that's about where he belongs.
Yeah. So Deebo Samuel goes there to team 8. Tom, the big talk in training camp right now is Brandon Ayuk, right? Again, we talked about this last year. Ayuk went ahead of Deebo last year, sometimes by a full round or whatever, right? Now, Ayuk's going multiple rounds behind Deebo, and people are saying, listen, Brandon Ayuk, he's really on the same page with Trey Lance right now. They've been working out all off season. Could Brandon Ayuk put in a big season this year?
Yeah, I mean, he's really talented. I mean, the big question obviously was what happened to Brandon Ayuk last year. Everybody was shocked at just how he got buried on in
doghouse
the first few weeks of the season. Yeah. So, yeah, he's a very talented wide receiver. I mean, Deebo's clearly their number one, but yeah, don't forget about Brandon Ayuk. He's very, very good.
All right, Alvin Kamara goes 19th here, Tom. So he is moving on up his ADP. I think since Monday was 17. I'll just check again here, but he goes 19th. What do you think of that?
Love that. And again, to pair him with Austin Eckler, that's a great start. You've got two number one running backs there. Great
Yep.
start.
Yep. All right, Jeff, you're 2 picks away. What are you thinking about right now?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping Kamara or Williams would come to me, but I'm prepared otherwise. I've actually got 3 guys in my queue, but I'll go Evans or Chubb, depending on, those are my top 2 choices here.
Okay. Yeah, Javonte Williams going at 20. He usually is right around 23, so you had a shot at him, but not tonight, I guess. This is a sharp crowd here.
Yeah, it is. I'm not afraid to go 2 receivers to start. I know I talked about maybe last night with you guys hoping to go wide receiver, running back.
Yep.
But we'll see. There goes Chubb. So
Yeah.
I will not be getting him. So Mike Evans, come on down.
Those are the 3 running backs you were thinking about, Kamara, Williams, and Chubb. And starting out wide receiver. Now, with 3rd round reversal, it'll make your running back situation a little bit interesting. But you've got 2 guys here who certainly have a chance to score 40-plus points for you every week, right?
Yep, plug and play. I know that Godwin's back and they signed Julio, but Evans is going to get his. And I think Godwin, I know he's off the PUP list, but he's not necessarily back.
Right. I will be surprised if he's on the field in week 1. I mean, that'll be 9 months from an ACL surgery. He got hurt on January 1st. I will be shocked. Tom, will you be shocked at all or not?
I'd be astonished. I mean,
there you
it
go.
It was a month ago. There were rumors that it might not be till November that we might not see him back. So, yeah, I mean, this is completely shocking that he didn't begin camp on PUP. So, yeah, he's way ahead of the projected rehab recovery time.
Definitely. Feel free to put some comments in here as well, and we'll put them on. And feel free to ask questions as well. Jeff, I, and Tom can certainly answer them. Just put it in the chat, and I'll put it right here on the screen. All right. Through the first 2 rounds, Tom, we had 4 guys that started out running back, 2 who started out wide receiver. You can like either way, right? But 4 starting out running back is ideal, honestly, with all the wide receivers being there in 3rd, 4th, 5th rounds.
I mean, I think that's the preferred way you want to go. I certainly understand where Jeff is coming from with his spot. You don't want to force it. So I think Evans was a great pick there. So I certainly don't have any problems with what he did. We'll see what's on the board for him at running back. Jeff, was Etienne somebody you were hoping might fall to you there in the 3rd?
I didn't think it was realistic. If we had gone in the Wayback Machine and done this draft a month ago, maybe, but the way he's been going, I didn't think I was going to get him. But yeah, I would have snap called if he was there for sure.
Yeah. Or was Akers another guy you might have been hoping for?
I'm not that big on Akers, guys. I want to see it a little bit before I invest early 3rd, late 2nd. When he was amazing that he came back, and I think it's a great story. But I don't think he was all the way back right now. I'm not really the training camp stuff. The chatter about Henderson splitting reps doesn't scare me at all. That's not it. I kind of question if he's all the way back.
Yeah, I'm not. That doesn't bother me at all because it completely ignores what McVay does with his number 1 running back.
Boom! Back-to-back quarterbacks right in front of Jeff. So Mahomes and Allen go right before Jeff at 34 and 30, or 33 and 34.
Oh,
Kyle Pitts, interesting.
Oh yeah,
explain yourself.
Oh, I'm a RotoWire representative. Thus, I love Kyle Pitts this year. I've been missing on him. I didn't think I was going to get him. I think he's a difference maker at the position. I think he's a generational talent, and you want those. I understand the quarterback situation is kind of scary, but I'll deal with that. I've got like 4 other options lined up for this next pick, so we'll see what happens. Couple of them are running backs. One of them's a quarterback. And I'm going to get a running back now that Mike Williams went off the board, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, Pitt's at 35. You're not going to get him at 35 in years going forward. There's just no way. He's going to put up a big year this year, and then he's going to be one of the top two tight ends going forward, I think. So, all right. You got your running back, James Conner.
Yeah, I have him ranked around 25 in my rankings, so pretty pleased. I I think what he did last year is for real. That type of offense helps. I think he's going to catch a lot of passes early on. Yes, of course, I'm a little scared about the health and the history, but I also think the type of offense Pittsburgh ran led him to like being running between the tackles more and getting hurt more often. I think in Arizona it works out pretty well.
Yeah. Tom, your thoughts on Pitts and Conner back to back there?
Well, certainly, I agree with everything Jeff said about Pitts. I mean, you worry about the quarterback situation, but the talent, we know how good Kyle Pitts is, and he will score more than one. He will catch more than one touchdown this year. So even with whatever they're dealing with the quarterback, it's just one touchdown catch with again, like Miles
Both
Sanders with
predictions from
0.
Tom. He's going to score more than one touchdown this
Yeah,
year.
I mean, it's just one of those fluky things. And I do like Connor as well. I mean, so I think that's a good start. When you've got basically three number one wide receivers, which is
Yep.
what Jeff has with Jefferson, Evans, and Pitts, I think you can afford to have a number two running back as your number one, basically. So I like the start so far.
I like it too, Jeff. You're not forcing anything at this point.
Thanks.
All right, here we got one question here from Jason, and it's not a fun question at all. Any word on Michigan? Yes, we're not going to be licensed in Michigan before football, it looks like. Give me a holler tomorrow or shoot me an email and I'll explain to you. But Michigan is a state that we can get licensed in. We just aren't going to be able to get it for the football season, unfortunately, it looks like. So we were talking with them, and it sucks because they're the 10th state we are exempting at this point. But we will be back in Michigan before baseball. I feel confident about that. But they are not issuing licenses at this point. So, bummer. But hang with us. Hang with us. We'll get through all of this. All right, Tom, little yellow stickers here. We got Cortland Sutton to start round 4, Terry McLaurin to team 3. We had Waddle, I saw as well. Brees Hall here goes now.
Yeah, I did want to point out with Team 7 here with 3 running backs to start, that is something we are seeing more and more. I'm certainly seeing it more and more often watching the RotoWires. Teams starting off with 3 running backs to open their draft. That is becoming more and more common. Certainly this year, maybe more than I've seen in recent years for sure. Certainly that's old school. We used to see it all the time, 10, 11 years ago. But in the last few years, it was something you didn't see a lot of. But this year, I am seeing it more and more often, certainly in the RotoWires.
And the reason being that the wide receivers are deep, right?
Yeah, I think it's because people feel like rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, even into 8 and 9, they can hit those wide receivers, even if they're not getting, the stud guys in the first few rounds. There's so much talent later on, they can get the guys they want.
Yeah, there's no RB teams in this draft at this point. Jeff would have been the closest, I guess, but no, there's nobody going that way. In fact, team 1, I want to talk a little bit about him, Tom, because Jonathan Taylor, you get the number 1 stud running back, at least he's projected to be. Then you don't have to get a second running back right away, right? I mean, you can really bang the wide receiver position, and that's what I love about that one spot. Yes, third round reversal, you don't get to 24 and 36, but you have a chance to really hit some wide receivers with that one stud running back.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Now you can hit on number 3 running backs, right? You don't have to get a strong 2 because you've got a guy who's going to get 20 to 25 points per game. You could really attack the wide receiver position or tight end. I'm interested, if he would have gone after, somebody like Pitts, if Pitts had been there, if Jeff hadn't taken him, if he would have taken Pitts, say, instead of Mike Williams. I would have done that if I was team 1, if Pitts had been on the board, a top tight end. But yeah, you don't have to take another running back because you've got somebody who is going to be so good at that running back position. Just hammer away at wide receivers after that. I think he's doing the right thing.
Yeah, in fact, teams 10 and 12 are pretty much doing the same thing, right? They started out with 2 running backs here. Now you really load up on these wide receivers, and they're solid wide receivers in rounds 3, 4, 5 here. I mean, Pittman, Brown, and Juju is a pretty nice trio of wide receivers to go with Swift and Barkley. So well done there for Team 10 and Team 12 as well. Brees Hall, thoughts about him, Tom? He's at 44 here. That's about where he's gone. For a while there, he was moving up into the third round. Then all of a sudden, the brakes hit, and he started going backwards, and now he's in the fourth round consistently, right?
That's kind of where he's been hanging out. We'll see if that changes once we get to see the Jets play in the preseason. If we see him play, if he busts off a big run or has a big game, if that pushes him back into the third round. But yeah, that's kind of where he's been at between picks 40 and 45 ish. That's pretty much where he's locked in. That's where he goes here tonight. So far, we haven't seen a lot of movement on Brees Hall. He's kind of right there in the fourth round, picks 40 to 45, and that's where he goes again tonight.
There you are seeing 10 straight wide here right now, and 13 out of the last 14. So, Jeff, you got in early, and now everyone's trying to catch up at that position. So,
yeah,
10 in a row. Let's see
if
we can keep this thing going.
Team 9's got 4 of them right now. Good ones, too. But that's the thing. It is deep at that position. There's still some guys I like, but yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I was hoping, Bateman's the type of guy I would love to have taken at the end of 5. Chris Vaccaro took him, and I love Bateman. I thought I was, lead ranker on Bateman, but maybe not.
No, he's been moving into right around 47 in the last week or so for sure. Tom and I actually were talking about him on the show, I think, and we said he's about where he's going to be, I think. I don't see him jumping a lot of the guys ahead of him, but 47, end of round 4 is where he's been going. All right, so we finished at 10 in a row because J.K. Dobbins went there. Team 6 not worried about risk at all. He's got Kamara and Dobbins, so roll the dice a little bit there with those two guys. Tom, we've talked to Pro Football Doc, right? And he was the one who told us weeks and weeks ago to not expect him to be ready for the season.
Yeah, I that's too rich for my blood at 56. I wouldn't be going with Dobbins. No, he might be looking at a Ravens stack at some point. He's got Andrews already, so maybe he's looking at Lamar at some point. We'll see.
So there goes Godwin at what is that, 57? Yeah, 57 Godwin goes. That's where he has been going. Still feels a little bit high, but if he starts the season, then it certainly isn't, right?
No, I mean, if he's out there in week 1, these are all going to be value picks for Chris Godwin. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a second, third round guy if he's out there in week 1.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Jeff, you are on the clock. Kittle goes before you. You didn't want that.
Nope, that's always nice to see another top tight end go before your next pick.
Yeah, only 3 running backs went before after your last pick.
I'm pretty happy with Elijah Mitchell there, guys. First team offense and a Shanahan offense. First team running back, I should say, and a Shanahan offense. We'll see. I've been high on Mitchell. I would have happily gone another receiver, and I still might this next pick, but Mitchell was definitely a target for me.
Yeah, those are 2 solid running backs you have now after going with 3 pass catchers to start out.
Letting Herbert go was definitely a tough part, though. I mean, he was far, clearly the top remaining quarterback and a difference maker at the position. It would have been nice to have a difference maker at both quarterback and tight end. But yeah, maybe I kind of almost think that maybe I should have gone there now. But there's so many quarterbacks I like that I don't really mind that.
Yeah. Tom, what would you have done there?
Well, I mean, I don't know who Jeff also likes at running back, but I like Elijah Mitchell, so I don't have a problem with that pick. And I agree with Jeff. There's a lot of quarterbacks on the board still, so I wouldn't be beating myself up over that.
No, me neither. I would go Mitchell as well. I think we talked about that last night. Debo, is he going to run the ball as much? No, because if Elijah Mitchell is healthy, he's the one who's getting those carries, I think. So he definitely will carry the ball sometimes. Could be jet sweeps or other things. But if Elijah Mitchell is in that offense, I think he's going to get the carries. So.
And we see what Team 1 is doing. He is laying off running backs after Jonathan Taylor in the first. Hammering wide receivers and Justin Herbert. So I like the approach.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got upside all over here for sure. Tyreek Hill there at 24, and then Justin Herbert as the QB3. Like that an awful lot as well. Michael Thomas, 61. He's moving on up, Tom. I mean, his ADP was 73, so that's a full round. He's moved up since we started seeing.
Look at Jeff making us happy. Look at that.
Yeah, no, that's what I aim for here. The $250,000 is nice, but making you happy. I mean, that's just a gift where it just keeps on giving.
So you heard the reports today. They've been really working him in the passing game, and they just love his hands right now. And they think he is going to be a much bigger part. Hey, he surprised a lot of people with his hands last year. He was much improved from his rookie year, caught 30 some balls, but today they were even Rogers was saying that A.J. Dillon's really put the work in. So it'd be interesting to see him get 40 plus catches this year, I think, to go along with some goal line scores.
Yeah, and to be honest, guys, I just didn't want to take David Montgomery there. Now I can cross him off my list. I'm happy about that. That's a happy result too.
Tom and I have Montgomery in the FSGA league, so we're kind of holding on that one as well.
Good luck. I hope it works for you.
I know. That was a league. What was it, like 23 running backs in the first 41 picks or something like that? So we were like, we've got to jump in, and Montgomery's the best one out there. That was a wild draft, that 14-teamer.
Yeah.
You know what it's like, Jeff. You were in the Classic last year, right? When the running backs go, it gets tough in a 14-teamer.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. David Montgomery was definitely not the plan at that point, but
there he goes. He shows up right on cue there.
Yeah.
So
we spoke him into existence there.
We did.
There are some times in drafts where you're forced into a pick. I mean, you really don't have a choice because the position just dries up, and you have to make a pick that you sometimes don't want to make. So
that happens with 14-teamers, certainly more than 12-teamers, but you have to be cognizant of a second running back, because if you don't have one, they're not on the waiver wire for sure. Certainly not in our 20-round 14-team Classic. So
exactly.
Guys, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So you obviously can't play in your own events.
Yep.
Do you kind of have a twinge of regret that you don't get to play in these high stakes contests that you run because they're so awesome?
The answer is yes, because we did participate in WCOFF. Tom and I would go out there for the live events. We participated a couple of years. That one year there were 72 drafts in the one South Park ballroom. It was fantastic being a part of it. So absolutely. I know I would be playing online championship. That would be mine for sure. In baseball, there is no question that I would play the draft champions national championship. I love it.
Bag, huh?
Well, our Arizona Fall League, I love playing that because I don't have to worry about fab. I just got to set my starting lineup. I love drafting 50 players. So that would be my favorite in baseball. It really would be. I mean, obviously the main event would be fun, but I'm not good at fab. I'm out on a wave runner in the summer days. I don't have time for fab. How about you, Tom? You regret it?
No,
you regret taking this job with me? Do you?
No, I don't. No, I don't regret. I don't regret that. But yeah, it'd be great to be able to play in an online championship or the prime time in football. It'd be outstanding. I'd love to be able to do that. So, maybe 10 years from now, Greg, will team up and go make Derek's life miserable out in Vegas if he's running this thing, and we'll drink all the beer and eat all his food, and we'll do that. So
I'm drinking $11 Coronas like crazy if Derek is buying them out there.
That's what we can do.
Is that what they charge you? Is $11 for a Corona?
That's before 30% tax and gratuity. So they're really like $14 a beer. So I'm watching people drink them. I know.
I better drink more.
Derek is watching this live. Derek is watching this live stream right now. So in 10 years, when he is running the prime time in Vegas, Greg and I are going to show up there and have a team, and we're just going to make his life a living hell.
That's right. We're going to drink and be obnoxious. I always said I wanted to sit with my son at the table there, but he has no interest in fantasy sports. I can't get him interested in it. I know. He loves the Bucks. He loves the Bucks more than he likes the Packers. So,
then he can take a main event in the NFBKC.
Yeah, me and you for football, absolutely. I'll sit with you.
We're pretty good together. Taylor in basketball.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, look at Team 12. Look at Nelson. See, we know he likes his wide receivers.
Yeah, I wanted Ayuk. I was gonna jump onto that train, but
the train Nelson
leaving the station earlier and earlier now.
Yeah, he only took him because we were talking him up. That's why he heard us talking about Ayuk there.
I'm sure that's the only. He doesn't do his own research or anything. No.
Also, the Treylon Burks pick is interesting because Burks is having a great camp in Tennessee, so that's another guy we're gonna have to keep an eye on. As far as ADP, Burks' ADP is moving up too. He's going to be a guy that people are going to be on going forward.
Could the asthma be the same as Jamar Chase's drops during preseason last year? Huh?
Good.
Burks, Burks has definitely fallen because he had a terrible OTA, right? He had the asthma and all that kind of stuff. But like you
and
said,
conditioning issues on top of that. Yeah.
Right. Right.
But definitely, yeah, I think, yeah, you got to avoid some of that talk for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Because he is the number one in Tennessee, right? There is nobody else that's the number one wide receiver there.
Oh, come
Well,
on.
Robert Woods is there, and he's healthy again. So
Okay. All right. Well, we like the Burks Ayuk pick very well. Nelson did a live stream of the online championship, and he teamed up with Matty Davis. I don't know if anybody watched that one, but Nelson ended up taking, I think, 8 wide receivers in his first 12 picks. And Matty was cringing every time that he would make another wide receiver pick. It was. So they were teaming together, but Nelson was at the controls. And yeah, he took 8 wide receivers, I think, in his first 12 picks. So
far be it for us to question Nelson, who's one of the best players in the industry, but Nelson, you can only start 4 of them.
That's a pretty common tactic, though, among especially the experienced players, the high volume players. I feel like that's a thing.
Right. All right. Let's see. Anybody out here? Tony Pollard goes in the 7th round. Tom, I know you like him an awful lot, right?
Love Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
That's a nice team that Team 10's putting together, by the way. I like that. I like that build quite a bit.
Yeah. Still in need of a tight end and a quarterback, but so are a lot of other teams here. So, all right.
And by the way, remember I said Team 6 might be looking for a Raven stack and Lamar? There he goes.
There you go. Good one right there. Yeah, hoarding wide receivers is the way to go in high stakes. That's what we're seeing as well. And Nelson's got 5 good ones right now on Team 12. So very good, very good.
Same thing with Team 11, hoarding wide receivers.
Yeah. The one running back, ETN, which is very interesting.
Another veteran. So there you go.
Yeah. Hall of Famer. In fact, I am doing a one-on-one interview, a high stakes fantasy network interview on Monday at, I think it's 9 Eastern time with Chris Vaccaro. So listen in. We'll even talk about some of these picks that he's making right here. So we'll have fun at it. All right, Jay, I got yelled at in the chat for hoarding wide receivers in the last draft, huh? 5 wide receivers in the first 6 rounds. Who hollered at you? Oh, in the chat. I see. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right, Jeff, you are coming up. 3 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end.
Yeah.
You thought about a quarterback in round 5. Are we thinking about a quarterback on the turn here at all?
Yeah, thinking about it. Not with this first pick, but gonna stay on brand. I've been talking up this guy all talking head season. Let's go ahead and take him now.
Oh, I love that pick. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love Olave. Why did the Packers get him? Didn't fall far enough, obviously.
They didn't trade up.
No, they didn't trade up.
Yeah, that's the correct answer, Jeff.
Hey, they traded up 2 years ago in the first round.
Yeah. Yes, they did. That's correct. Yes, they did. That is true.
They got the quarterback of the future with that first round pick. So, all right, let's see what Team 1 does here. He's got the 1 running back, Jonathan Taylor. Let's see if he puts a green sticker up here on the turn.
And he does. Devin Singletary.
There you go. Taylor and Singletary. And Miles Sanders.
Yep.
Tom, you give approval to those 2 picks, don't you?
I approve of one of them, yeah. You could probably guess which one I approve of.
Yeah, but Singletary can catch some balls. He can get you 10 to 12 points. Miles Sanders
I'm not as crazy about Singletary, but I definitely like Sanders.
Yeah, Sanders could be
another receiver here, guys.
All right.
I like Chase Claypool a lot. I think he's gonna take another step up this year. I know Deontay got paid, but I think Claypool's a player. I think this guy with a quarterback that can throw the ball more than 10 yards, he's going to benefit from that quite a bit.
Does he have one of those?
I think so.
Who?
Mason Rudolph. No, I don't know. He's the guy who's looking best in camp so far. Rashad Penny's a good pick there too. If I didn't already have 3 running backs, I think I would have thought about that. But I wanted to get I only had 3 wideouts at this point, and I avoided another wideout because I had his teammate. So I'll let you think on that one there, and you can. There's a couple of them that fit that description.
No, I agree with you on Claypool. I mean, the physical talents are there. He obviously has to grow up a little bit, right? He showed some immaturity last year, but
That's fixable.
for sure, the quarterback.
It's like when you have a wide receivers that are divas. Oh my God, there's a few of those out there. They turned out to have decent careers, or wide receivers that get open all the time, but maybe drop it every once in a while. Give me those guys all the time because they're going to command the targets. They're going to get open. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's the quarterback situation that's the concern in Pittsburgh, obviously.
For sure. They might have a problem there.
Tom, I'm interested in these 6 running backs that went to your turn. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, we don't know what's going to happen in Kansas City, but there's upside there. Walker and Penny, we don't know what's going to happen in Seattle, but both of those guys are interesting. Ramondre Stevenson, is he going to steal some carries from Damian Harris, right? And then you got Singletary and Sanders. We're looking at the 7th and 8th round here, and you got some upside running backs available, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're all the committee running backs are kind of going off the board right now. You even going back a couple of picks earlier, Edmonds, Pollard. This is what we're looking at right now. The committee running backs. I mean, Sanders really isn't in the committee, but that's typically where he's going right now.
Yeah.
But Singletary, all these other running backs are all the committee guys, and we're not just sure how it's going to shake out. I do think Penny's the one guy of this group who could emerge the most. I mean, Edwards-Helaire, I guess, could, but at this point, I think we just got to stop hoping that he's going to be the guy. I mean, we're 3 years into this thing, and it just hasn't happened for him. I'm not sure it's going to happen at this point, but everybody else is kind of stuck in a committee situation here. There are guys I like more than others. I mean, I am a big Tony Pollard guy. I do like Stevenson a lot, but we were talking about Damian Harris on the Sirius show last night, and I stand behind what you and I both were talking about. So as much as I like Stevenson, I like Harris, as well. So interesting guys, but again, with committee guys, it's always kind of tough to, break that situation and know how it's all going to shake itself out.
Yeah, definitely. Tonight was the Hall of Fame game, of course, and you didn't really learn a whole lot. There weren't a lot of guys starting, but the one guy that did play 2 series, surprisingly, was Josh Jacobs, and he actually looked pretty good. Broke off a 12-yard run, then a 9-yard run, and he was in there in the second series as well. Tom, what does that mean? Does that mean that they're showcasing him, that they might trade him? What? Is it a show me start in a Hall of Fame game? What is that with Josh Jacobs? That was the only surprising guy that I took away tonight.
Yeah, you would normally say it's not good because obviously Derek Carr wasn't out there, Devontae Adams and Darren Waller and Renfro, they weren't out there. They're the key guys. So you would say, well, if they're not out there, Josh Jacobs shouldn't be out there, but he was. So, but it's a new head coach. So, and I mean, my gut reaction is to say it's not good.
Yeah,
And
I
we know
agree.
it's going to be a committee situation because that's what Josh McDaniels runs. He runs a committee backfield. We know that from New England. So, and Kenyon Drake was out there too. That's not good for Kenyon Drake. So my gut reaction is it's not good. And I think it's an ugly backfield. And it's probably a backfield I would want to avoid. And looking at this right now, Jacobs goes in the 6th round.
Right.
I want nothing to do with that. I mean, their running backs
I
going
want
after
none
Josh
of Jacobs this year. None.
Really?
0.0.
Yeah. There are running backs going after Josh Jacobs that I much, much, much rather have.
Yeah, I mean, Adam points out here they aren't re-signing him, so they will run him into the ground possibly. But I don't know if you would start him in today's game. Today's game just seemed almost like it was either punishment or it was a showcase. It was one or the other. I wasn't quite sure what it was.
Showcasing against what, though? Because Jacksonville's benched their top 30 players.
But they actually had some defensive players out there. But
yeah, they did. They had some young guys out there. For sure.
Walker was out there and such. But I almost agree that they're definitely not re-signing him. They didn't extend a rookie contract, so they could run him into the ground, or they could just trade him. I guess I'm not quite sure. So showcase for me was maybe they're thinking about trading him and moving on from him. I guess that was my point. Jay asked a question here with committee backs. Do you guys prefer to just have one side, or would you rather grab the pair in a single draft, or would you just avoid them? Would be the other option, right, Tom?
I mean, it depends on the talent, right? I mean, if it's Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams, I like both guys. They're very talented. Aaron
Yeah.
Jones, AJ Dillon, very talented guys. I mean,
I'd
Josh
want
Jacobs
one or
and
the
Kenyon
other.
Drake, no thanks. So it
Yeah.
depends
I'd
on
want
the
one or the
talent
other
and
on
the
the
team.
good committee guys. I don't
Yeah.
want to. I want to be able to like have two guys I can start,
Right.
and I can't start both in a given week. I feel
Yeah.
like so, and you're kind of rooting for one to get marginalized over the other and have the right one, of course.
Right.
And then yeah, you want to be able to just take somebody else's handcuffs. That's always the way I looked at that.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. I mean, you're not taking Walker and Penny. You don't want to roll the dice with two picks and hope that you got it right. You want to pick one of them and you want to get it right. I think that's the idea. But I do agree with Tom. If you're not avoiding AJ and Jeff, just because somebody else has Aaron Jones, both of those guys could be very productive. I mean, Walker and Penny both could be productive. It's possible, I guess.
Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard will have value in fantasy this year.
Right.
They both will. I mean, the question is how much value and where do you slot them on your rankings? That's the question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
But you wouldn't take both of them.
No.
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 So we eliminated one of the options that he gave us. So.
Right.
All right, Jeff, what are you thinking about here? I don't see any pink.
Well,
on
I
your
was thinking
roster.
Rondale Moore there, so that was kind of frustrating.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. We'll just zag when they zag. I don't think Breece Hall is going to be a full-time guy. I think Carter's going to get plenty of touches too, so I'm taking him.
Interesting.
You're playing chicken with one position, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm going to get one. Team one's got one already, so I'll wait for. And I've got two guys I want. So if he wants to like hoist himself by his own petard and have three quarterbacks, good on him.
I don't think so. You and Team 10 are the only ones without. Speaking of quarterbacks, Tom, let's talk about Team 12. We do know that's Nelson. Jalen Hurts was a pretty good option there. I mean, lots of upside with that pick. Matthew Berry was on the Sunday night, or not the Sunday night, but the Hall of Fame game. Congrats to Matthew for joining NBC Sports.
Yeah, big gig for him.
Absolutely. Yeah. And he'll be on Sunday Night Football, it looks like, and talking about fantasy results from the weekend. I like that an awful lot. So I think there's a lot of upside there. I think it was Rick Cordella hired him there. What do you think, Jeff?
There's a name I haven't heard.
Those two guys go back a long way. So, Tom, what about Hurts for Team 12?
Well, and he did a good job. He began the run, right? I mean, look at all the pink in round 9 here. So he began the run, which is exactly what you want to do. And I like Jalen Hurts a lot. I'm a big Jalen Hurts guy. He was probably the most consistent fantasy quarterback of a year ago outside of, the high-end, upper-end elite guys. So I think he's primed for a monster season. He could be QB1. I mean, really, when you think about it, when you combine the rushing production and if he does improve himself as a passer with A.J. Brown there. So I love the Hurts pick. And again, what I like most about what he did was, he began this run. He wasn't caught in the middle of it. He didn't miss out. He got a high-end guy, and he started the run. So I think it was a really good job of waiting on the position and not getting caught.
Well, let's talk about that. That run started in round 9, and Jeff avoids a pink sticker, so he's going to play chicken here.
There's like 5 other guys I like. You want to punch me by taking a second quarterback? Fine, go for it.
The man who almost took Justin Herbert in round 4 is not taking a quarterback now until
that's
at least
the thing.
round 11.
I don't have an elite one, so I'm going to go with multiple ones later, and that's fine.
Yep,
that's the way it works.
All right, but Tom, the quarterback run started in round 9. I mean, the last couple of years we've been saying round 6 or 7, that's where you're going to find these guys, and we have been seeing the quarterbacks going pretty heavily in round 6 and 7. Tonight, these guys really held off round 9. Everybody went and got one. Well, except for Jeff.
I mean, I got to do the math here, so hold on here. Is it 5? Yeah, it looks like 5 in round 9. Which
that was your math. That was your math counting up those 5.
Yeah, hey, come on, I got the number right, so that's pretty good.
Did.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. I think this is the latest we've seen quarterbacks go in our drafts. Again, maybe ever, but certainly in recent years. and again, we have 6 points per touchdown pass. So
Yep.
I understand the position is deep, but even with 6 points per touchdown pass, to see guys waiting until round 8, and again tonight, round 9, for the bulk of these guys to be going this late is really something pretty extraordinary, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. This is late. Round 9 is pretty late for that run, like you said, 5 of them. So
Guys, I've waited this long, if not longer, in a 14-teamer. It's okay. You know, it works, especially if the rest of the room's not waiting. I mean, that's nice. It's fine.
just wait.
You're
Let me
getting-
look up how many classic titles you've won then by waiting on those
Not-
quarterbacks.
okay. I've done well enough. I've cashed. I don't know
Okay.
about overall titles, but
All right. Well, we will watch this. It's interesting nonetheless. I agree with you. There's plenty of quarterbacks out there. My man Rodgers is still out there. Kirk Cousins is obviously still out there. There's plenty of good quarterbacks left.
everyone's shying away from Stafford now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dallas Goedert going in round 10, I thought was interesting, even late for him. I'm not sure what his ADP. I'll have to look it up here. But Tom, you and I are high on Goddard. I'm surprised he lasted that long, to be truthful.
Yeah, I think that's a real nice pick. If you're going to wait on tight ends to get a guy like that, and even Hawkinson there at the turn there at the end of round 9,
And
I think that's
Ertz.
a real to be
Yeah,
able
Ertz
to wait
too.
on that position.
Love Ertz.
Mm-hmm.
Ertz
Yeah,
these first 6 weeks is going to go nuts. You know, although I mean he left practice today with a calf injury, so we'll see. But he was huge, you know, late in the season with them, and no Hopkins for 6 weeks. Who knows what's going to happen with like Hollywood Browns' legal situation? I think Ertz is a fun guy to wait on, and I like if you don't go really early on tight ends, I like to wait on tight ends. It's kind of like quarterbacks, same thing, same principle. You go early on one or the other.
Yeah, we were in an auction together, Tom and I, and we waited on tight ends, and they kept going too high. Ertz was like the last one, and me and Tom were bidding them up because we each wanted them. I ended up getting them, but got them for like $9, which was a lot more than either one of us wanted to spend on them. But
a $3 tight end went for $9.
Yeah. So I got to ask you, Jeff, what we've seen the last 2 years is the Burrow-Chase combo really won a lot of money for people. The year before it was Josh Allen and Diggs. I don't know. I'm going to take a look here. I don't see a whole lot of stacking going on. Okay, there's the Burrow-Chase Team 5's got that combination. Do you ever look at stacking in the 12-team online championship to try and win the overall?
Of course. I think correlation matters because you're not just trying to win your league. You're trying to win, the big money is with the overall contest there. And so you're trying to find ways to be a little bit different. You're trying to find ways that, you can really rack it up if you get it right. If you nail a team's offense, that's great.
Right. Like I said, I think I only see Team 5 unless I'm missing something. Tom, you said Jackson and Andrews. Yes, that's a combo for Team 6 as well. That's about it right now. So we'll see.
I really
All right.
like that
Team
Palmer
10 is playing even more chicken on the quarterback. He knows that it's still pretty deep. He did not take one with his 2 picks. He took Komet, and I believe that's Josh Palmer. So
yeah, I like Josh Palmer.
All right, so nobody's taking a quarterback, so you've done well so far here, Jeff. You've got a chance to get your choice.
I do.
Team one's got a combo there with Herbert and Mike Williams. I'm just looking.
Okay, yeah.
And team 12 has got a pair with Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith. So a few teams have paired up a wide receiver and a quarterback.
The people in the chat now are getting bored with us. They want Chris Liss back on. I think they want him on the radio rather than here.
Sorry.
Nobody wants
same thing on my show, guys. It happens. I mean,
yeah, you've had him on a lot, actually, haven't you?
We have him on at once a week.
Yeah.
Just like you guys.
Now, hold on. Now, the guy who just typed this in calls him Chris and then in quotes, Rob Lowe Liss. I'm pretty sure that's Liss under a pseudonym. Nobody has ever confused Chris Liss and Rob Lowe.
I've
never happened.
There was a picture of him in Vegas with us, and someone said he looks like Lalo Salamanca from Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought that was a good one there.
Yeah.
You guys fans of that show?
Tom probably is.
No, I love Breaking Bad, but I couldn't get into Better Call Saul. Even though I've heard it's fantastic.
It's amazing, and there's only two episodes left now.
Yeah.
Geez, another list reference. Real man doesn't draft a QB. All right.
Well, there's 2 of us that haven't, so I take that as a compliment. Or maybe
So
You gotta draft at least one.
the man was in Las Vegas. I heard, Chris. Is he doing well? Is he healthy? Does he look good?
Yeah, he's good.
Good.
We had our annual steak dinner.
Yep.
We have a steak dinner side bet league. So it's just a RotoWire staff league, and we have a side bet. There's like 8 of us in it, based on total points. Top 4 eat for free. 5th place pays for himself. 6th and 7th pay for themselves and one other. And 8th place is the dreaded double buyer, 2 other people plus themselves. Go to a great steakhouse. Good bottles of wine. What you order, whatever. You just can't do any doggy bags. No take home stuff. But bill usually comes out to be about, I would say, about 125 per person.
Yeah.
Per share. So that double buyer is paying like 350, 375, something like that.
Yeah, you do not want to finish last in that one, huh?
No, sir.
I saw you also went to a Thai restaurant as well.
Oh, we do that in Vegas all the time. You guys ever go to there?
No. Where is that?
Lotus of Siam. It's on Tropicana now. They have a new building. It's the best Thai restaurant ever.
Tropicana.
Okay.
Huh?
You guys begged for it. I'll do it.
Hey, you did good. There wasn't a single quarterback taken. So
I could have played chicken one more time, but I'm not.
Yeah.
And he teamed up his
Jefferson.
quarterback
That's why
with
I'm going
first round
Cousins.
pick.
We talked about correlation earlier, so
yeah, there you go. Teaming up with Jefferson. All right. I can't stand Vikings, so I didn't really like the pick, but it does make sense to team it up with Jefferson there. So,
and honestly, I think the other thing too is it's a new offense now. It's not Zimmer. They're not going to get Zimmered.
Yeah.
So I think they'll throw more.
That could be an explosive offense, no doubt.
Why Cousins over Carr and Rodgers?
Correlation, because I have Jefferson.
Yeah.
And because I'm going to take Rodgers here as well.
I was just going to say, grab Rodgers right here.
There's no reason I can't take both.
Okay. Now I'm starting to warm up to this team.
Unless Cranshaw wants to take a third quarterback, which
he's not doing it.
He's not.
He won't do that.
I find it interesting that everyone's running from the hills with Stafford now. He could be just fine.
All right. Now that you've got Rodgers and Cousins, here's your first set lineup question. Who are you starting in week 1 at Minnesota, Vikings versus Packers?
I'm probably going to go Cousins. We'll see.
You son of a bitch. Boy,
are we going to be tough?
I've got Jefferson. I think that matters.
Not only that, he put up 5 touchdowns against the Packers the last time they played at Minnesota.
Lily says Kelsey, Mahomes, and CEH is a stack. It's because we're looking for wide receivers pairing with quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, he's got a good point there. One. Team 4 has entered the chat.
That's right. That's right. We were looking for quarterbacks and receiver. That's right.
Yeah, of course.
Good point,
Kelsey,
Tim.
Mahomes.
That's right.
And I rarely look at running backs as part of a stack, but it's true.
Sure.
One of my best fantasy teams I did, this is 20 years ago. I had Herman Moore, Barry Sanders, Brett Perriman, and Scott Mitchell on the one Lions team that was this super dynamic team.
Yeah.
It was such a fun year, guys.
90, 91.
Yeah, that was just, oh my God, it was so much fun.
Scott Mitchell was relevant back then. The old left-hander was a relevant quarterback.
He had 2 years basically where he was good.
Right.
And that's about it.
And then he fell off, no doubt about it.
Yep.
All right. Tim's taking joy in knowing that he found a stack that we didn't talk about. So
you're heard.
That was well done.
Yeah, well done. Well done. 3 guys just drinking beer and didn't notice that. So
I gotta draft my own team. That's your job to find that.
I actually liked it better when your mic wasn't working.
I got on Tom's case when he was really trying to set me up for a nice question because he was talking about being a long-suffering Packers fan.
Yeah, what the heck? You didn't even let me finish my question.
I know, but I had the structure there. I just couldn't let that go.
I know, but people don't remember remember from 1969 until 89, we were terrible, and so we went 30 years between Super Bowls, so it was kind of a drought.
But you did have you had stability at quarterback even then.
Lynn Dickey is not stability.
Come on. Oh my God.
I
didn't say good. I said stability.
We had 500. We had 500 teams for like 10 straight years, and Bart Starr was 8-8 every year. They finally fired him because it was like 8-8. Come on.
This is the team that traded
Jeff Fisher before it was cool.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the team that traded all their first round picks for John Hadel when he was 40 years old, just because they needed a quarterback so bad.
Akili Smith. That's all I got to say in return.
Yeah, 3rd overall too.
Jim Delgazio.
Jim Delgazio actually wore number 12. I'm pretty sure he wore number 12. He was a left-hander. Nice mustache, real long handlebar. Remember him? Boy.
That's important.
Yeah. All right, here we are. We're done with round 12. What time is it here? Not even an hour, right? So this one's going to take a good hour and a half, but moving pretty good here. Stafford, let's talk about him. Stafford there. Stafford is dropping because of the elbow issues, right? That's what we're seeing here.
That's a nice gamble. It's a nice gamble for Team 7. That's his number 2 QB, not even his number 1.
Why not?
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so Team 10 played chicken longer than Jeff and leaves with Fields and Tua.
It's not bad.
We got any matches there at all? No. Cole Kmet. There you got the Fields Kmet stack. What do you think?
If Fields takes that second-year jump, that's what you want to have. So you can see it. You don't even have to squint that much.
Yeah. Okay. I'm all for it. All right. I actually like your Cousins Rodgers one, but
yeah,
you're going to make the right or wrong decision every week, just so you know. Those are your two options.
That is the problem, right?
Yeah. All right. Someone doesn't like Team 10's quarterbacks, but that's just one man's opinion. So we shall see. All right, Jeff, what are we doing in round 13? What are we trying to do here? Let people know how you're trying to fill out these last 8 picks of your roster.
I mean, I
Best
really don't.
Player.
I feel like bases are covered. Now I'm just trying to find talent.
Yeah. Do you go into the draft saying I need 6 wide receivers, I need 7 wide receivers, I need 6 running backs?
No, I don't. It's not a best ball. I can pick up guys. Yep. I find that I'm probably going to find more running backs on the waiver wire than I am wide receivers, although that's not 100% true. Yep. But I think if I'm gonna look for some wide receiver upside, you look at my roster right now. I've got 4 backs and 5 receivers, so I can kind of do pretty much anything I want here.
Yep.
Jameson Williams is a fun pick there. He won't play right away, but he's super high upside. Only thing I don't like, and someone pointed this out to me the other day because I took him in the end game in one league, is he's not so Jared Goff is not so great with the deep ball, but which is a lot of where his upside comes from.
Well, I mean, he definitely will start the year on the PUP list, and it'd be hard to see him getting on the field before the second half of the season. But man, was he electric at Alabama. My goodness, his separation, he just blew by those college backs for sure. Yeah. Tom, when you go into the draft here, 20 rounds, are you looking at like 6 wide receivers, 7 wide receivers, anything like that?
No, I'm not. I mean, you want to have, I'd say I want to have 5 or 6 of each, but again, like Jeff said, you got Fab, so you get to this point in the draft, it's all about BPA now. So if I start loading up on wide receivers or running backs, one position over the other, I don't care much about it because I'll work Fab, I'll work the waiver wire throughout the season. So it's all about best possible players. I came out of the auction league we did the other couple of weeks ago, and I realized I got, I think, 6 wide receivers, and 3 of them all have the same bye week. And I'm like, oh, that's no big deal. I'll deal with that. It's week 11 or something like that, or week, I don't know, whatever week it is, but I'll deal with that through Fab. It's not a big deal. So just work it through Fab.
Josh points out our man Dubs has been climbing the ADP. Look at him here.
Oh,
in the
I like
13th
that
round.
pick. He would have been a nice fit for my team.
Absolutely. My goodness, this guy is just balling out. And, Christian Watson can't even get on the field right now. But seriously, this Dubs guy is, even if you looked at his college tape, I mean, he made big plays all over the field. He played for 4 years. So he's an interesting one. Keep an eye on him for sure. Here's one more comment. So Brunch is asking about Team One. And Tom, we talked about this at the beginning of the show. You get Jonathan Taylor, you just got that hammer at running back, and hopefully you got 22 plus points a game or so. And then you can just hammer the wide receiver. You don't have to get a running back two right after him, right?
Right. I mean, I think, again, it comes down to the running backs that you like. I do like Miles Sanders. I think he can be a guy who can get 10 to 12, 13 points per game. And so I think that's all you need. Again, he's got Justin Herbert, a top, maybe 2 to 3 quarterback. And now he's got real strength at wide receiver and a Hawkinson who's a top tight end. So his other positions I think are going to crush the lineup. So he doesn't need a running back two to score 15 to 20 points per game because Taylor is going to be so dominant. That's what he's hoping. It's so dominant at running back one. He just needs a running back two to, be solid because he's going to be putting the wide receivers into his flex. Yeah. So that's all he needs.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I would do the same thing. If I had Taylor number one, I would just hammer the wide receivers, and getting a top quarterback wasn't a bad play as well. I mean, Hawkinson, round 9. I like the build by Team One. I really do.
Yeah, I like it too. I like hammering the receivers. It's like getting Mike Trout in his prime at 1.1 and then getting 2 pitchers in 2-3 in the NFBC.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I will say now you don't pass on a running back at 24 if somebody falls, but
you don't force it either.
If a really good running back falls to you, you take him. But ideally, I think out of that spot, I would want to be hammering away at wide receivers.
Yeah, no, I would do the same for sure. B&W and Sutton, two top 5 receivers of the year in 2022. I believe that's a prediction. All right, roll for that. All right, we thank everybody for putting it in the chat. Any questions you have, put it in the chat. We'll pop it on the screen here. We're getting towards the end here. We'll go a little bit longer here. Again, this is 12 teams, 20 rounds, $250,000 grand prize. Entry fee is $350. First place, $1,500. Second place is $700 within the league. So 4 times your money for finishing, for winning the league title, which is pretty darn good.
And Josh Dombrowski just made a good point there. Yeah, he's just popping this up on the screen. We get that free look game on Thursday night, and he gets it with Singletary. So if Singletary blows up, he'll just pop him right into his running back 2 or maybe his flex spot and get a lot of points that way. So again, Buffalo and the Rams, that free look game. So, and there's Isaiah McKenzie to Team 11, could be a free look game for Team 11. So something to keep.
Absolutely.
Good point.
So we should tell people what that means. So we still have drafts after the Thursday night game. I mean, back in the day, they used to stop drafts on Wednesday night, right? You wouldn't have any more drafts because you had the first game starting on Thursday. Well, it didn't make any sense to do that, especially when the majority of our drafts are Thursday night, Friday, Saturday.
I was just going to say, back in the day, we didn't have a Thursday night game either. I mean,
no, that's way back in the game for sure.
I'm old enough to remember that.
Yeah. So we allow everybody to have the free look of the Thursday. That way you can draft anytime you want, and you get the same advantage as the people who draft after the Thursday game. So you're right. That is a real good one. In fact, you'll see a lot of guys, a lot of our veterans will draft 2 kickers at the end of their drafts, and one of them will be the Thursday night game, right? They'll draft 2 team defenses at the end of the draft. One of them will be the Thursday night game. So you got a free look there. So, well. All right. People are saying that we missed a bunch of other ones here. Kyler and Hopkins. I guess we missed that one too. Whose job was that to see the stacks?
Yours.
It was. But I did ask if stacks are important. Jeff says yes. He went for the stack. So everybody does have that in mind. So I appreciate people pointing out the ones that we missed. But remember to do that. It certainly can pay off, and it has the last 2 years with our champions having the stacks. Chase Burrow last year, and Josh Allen and Diggs the year before. All right. Yep. See, Josh said he did it on the Thursday night game. this year could be a fun Thursday night game too, right? Buffalo and the Rams. There could be a lot of scoring going on, and we've seen drafts change after the Thursday night draft. I remember the year when Peyton Manning, what did he throw, 7
Yep.
touchdowns or whatever?
Yep.
He went number 1 the next day, number
Yes,
1
he did.
overall. Yep.
Yep.
I remember Rick Thomas actually had the number 1 pick, and he said he was going to do it. I'm like, well, I suppose, you just got yourself 50-some points if you want to take it. Sure enough, he did. So,
Yep. People want to bank those points.
can't blame anybody.
Wow. Paramore is not a fan of me. Ouch.
Oh, really? We got
Wow.
more here? Let's see.
See, that's gotta be Liss under a pseudonym. I'm sorry. First the Rob Lowe comment.
This would be too cool to be in the chat. There's no way it's him.
First of all, there's no good-looking guys on this telecast right now. I mean, look at the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Jeff is definitely the best looking. I mean, I'm sorry, Tom, but I think Jeff is the best looking.
The
one
youngest,
right now.
at least.
Well, saying that Liss looks like Rob Lowe, that's so out of left field.
I'm pretty sure you're right on. That's Liss. He's sitting there in Portugal at about 2 a.m. watching this and then jumping in our chat, I think. So
I have no idea what time it is in Portugal, but I'm still thrown by Liss looking like Rob Lowe. I don't know where that came from. But
I'm
yes,
still
that's the rule.
throwing-
Anyway, back to the Thursday night. The rule is you can sub those players out if they play poorly. You just got to get them out of your lineup by the 1 Eastern games on Sunday. So a lot
That's
can
right.
happen in that Thursday game, and certainly it can affect drafts starting on Friday. So it's a lot of fun.
All right. We are through round 15 in 1 hour and 3 minutes. So everybody picked up the pace. We have our first 2 defenses going off the board, Team 7 and Team 1. Buffalo Bills went number 1 and Indianapolis Colts went number 2. So we'll keep an eye on that. I can scroll up on the board here once we get past round 16 here. But we'll just keep it just so that people can see the stacks that are available and the stacks that we missed as well. So should be
All right.
interesting.
Here's my homer pick, guys.
There you
Bengals
go.
kicker. The first kicker off the board.
Yep.
You know, Liss would have taken Justin Tucker.
He would have taken Tucker, and that's fine too. And I'm happy to take a kicker in round 16. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you don't have to set your lineup until the first Sunday game. So it doesn't matter if they're on the bench or starting. You have a free look on that Thursday, right up until kickoff on Sunday. So it doesn't matter if Crowder or McKenzie is on your bench or in your starting lineup. Your starting lineup does not lock until kickoff of the first game on Sunday. Does that make sense? Right, Tom? Am I explaining that right?
That's right. The Buffalo, basically the Rams and Bills players will lock by 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday.
Right.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yep. So if you want their points for Thursday, just make sure they're in your lineups by the first games on Sunday for week 1.
Correct.
That's the only Thursday game that is for. Just that Thursday opener. That's it. Not every Thursday.
It's the cheat code. We let you cheat.
Yep. Add a little twist for week 1.
And allows us to host drafts on Friday and Saturday as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it'd be such a huge advantage for the people that waited in an overall contest.
Everybody would wait then. Nobody would draft early.
So you just highlighted this question. Michael asked,
Right.
am I worried about TDP or Trey Sermon or Trey Lance or Jeff Wilson? Yeah, it's possible. The only thing I'm worried about with Mitchell is his health. If Mitchell's healthy, he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it there.
Yep.
Running quarterback, yeah, he can hurt you at the goal line, but the trade-off is he opens up lanes for you otherwise.
Yeah.
I agree.
Me
Absolutely.
too.
You're drafting the talent. You're drafting the fact that he's the guy down at the goal line. So he's just got to stay healthy. So there's a lot of competition there. But, Shanahan, you can never figure him out. But the one thing we do know about him and his dad, of course, when they've got the hot hand, they just ride him the whole way, right? So if Mitchell is healthy, then there's just no conversation. He's getting the ball. So,
Yeah.
all
And
right, help me out.
He was so good last season. I mean,
Yeah.
if he plays like that, he's not coming off the field. So
Hey guys, Team 4 got booted on his last pick. He did not want Tim Patrick. I don't know if he has any recourse or anything, but he got auto picked on Tim Patrick.
did he press help?
I'm just seeing in the chat. He goes, "Well, he'll be my first replacement." So he's being magnanimous about it. At least.
I mean, Derek's watching the draft, so
Yeah, he'd have to hit the help contact.
yeah.
Help me out with Team 3. He's got 4 tight ends right now: Kittle, Freiermuth, Gesicki, Fant.
He's been on auto for a while. So yeah.
Okay.
Evan Ingram did you guys introduce drops as a category? Did all right. Sorry, that was a cheap shot.
We almost talked about Evan Ingram last night with Jacksonville. I don't know what we would have said.
He's athletic. He's got talent to get open, but he might be the exception to my I don't mind the drop guys because he just takes it to another level. He's like Troy Williamson, as far as that goes, is someone that was really bad and never could get over it there. That's about that level bad.
Yeah. Yeah, he has too many drops for me. I've had him last 2 years, I believe, and last year I just couldn't take it anymore. I just had to cut him mid-season. It just was so frustrating. So, okay. Well, I think we're going to wrap up here. So this is going to go through round 20, but we thank everybody for being on here tonight. Again, playnffc.com. You can see right there. Just go there. Click on the RotoWire Online Championship. We have been doing this with RotoWire since 2013, I believe. So if I'm counting right, this would be the 10th straight year that we have done this.
Wow.
We started it in 2009. Our first year was a $30,000 grand prize. I can remember being at my nephew's wedding and just sweating because we were not going to reach the guaranteed. And I just could not believe we couldn't hit 30,000. We did in the final week. We got a bunch of signups. We barely made it. Since then, we just have been growing. This year, I think we're going to have about 4,500 teams and a $250,000 grand prize. So the history of this online championship has just been fantastic. And we thank rotowire.com for helping us promote this. Jeff, we thank you for doing this. Let's do another Jeff Erickson League before kickoff goes. Jeff is going to be in Las Vegas, weekend 1 at the Bellagio, September 2nd and 3rd. He's going to be in the prime time. We have 2 spots open for the Las Vegas prime time on Saturday, September 3rd, and then we're shutting it down. I got 2 ballrooms there. We're going to have 2 leagues going at once, and then we're going to shut it down. The next weekend is just going to be wild. We're at Park MGM. We've got a whole bunch. We're going to have about 6 going at once on Saturday morning there. So should be a lot of fun. But looking forward to it. Jeff, I thank you very much. Any closing comment here? You are the lawyer, remember, so go ahead and close it out.
No, I'm just super excited about the live event in Vegas. It's always a blast. And yeah, I go first weekend. I've got 3 more years of coaching soccer, and then I'll probably go, I'll shift back to the bigger weekend after that. But for these next 3 years, still go Labor Day weekend.
Perfect. So it'd be great. Next year will be our 20th anniversary. This is our 19th anniversary of the live events in Las Vegas, New York. Tom's going to be in New York City with Derek, and we're looking forward to that. They're already asking you for the menus, Tom, so start filling out those BEOs and get those guys fed and drunk, right?
Yeah, we're going to have fun the first week in New York, and then Derek and I will come out to Vegas for the big second week. Going to be a lot of fun. So again, we got a few spots left in New York, so if you want to join us live out there for the first weekend, come on out, join me and Derek, and then like Greg said, the big second week out in Vegas is going to be crazy. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking good. $250,000 grand prize in the NFFC primetime, $250,000 grand prize in the RotoWire Online Championship. We're live streaming at least 1 draft a week. I think we're looking at next Thursday, Tom, I believe. But subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's High Stakes Fantasy Network YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. It'll give you alerts when we do these. But we have a lot of fun with these for sure. And so, Jeff, thank you very much. Good luck with the rest of your draft. Good luck this year. And we will stay in touch for sure. Okay?
Awesome. Sounds good, guys. Take care.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you next week. Good night.